Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and you've tuned in to the right place to up-level in your life and business. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and I'm happy to be with you today. I hope you have some moments here to ground and anchor in with me as we unpack making space today on the Lila Life Show. So this is inspired to me because I feel like at the root of so many of my own personal transformations and what I see with my clients is really making space for whatever the next thing is to come in. And there's some very easy, basic physical ways to do this, like doing some Marie Kondo or whatever other clearing technique you like to use to literally go through your home, your place of living, your place of stay, editing out, lightening the load. It's like an easy way to jumpstart making space. And why is this so important to make space? Because I imagine that you, in this exact moment in your life, and if you want to connect this right now, have something or some things that you are calling into your experience. And if you want to list out what those things are, I think that's a great way to really root into them. And then see simultaneous to that where you need to make some room. And it could be by cleaning, like I said, the physical space up, making some, to me, time after time after time, it's like the quickest way, easiest way to move some energy. And once I got this, I really got hooked on it. If you've been following the show for a while, you might see my little background evolve. This is just something that is so passionate to me, is having things be what you want them to be and having them be where you want them to be, having them have an intention. If you've followed any of the minimalist teachings, what I noticed was a direct correlation with this and other areas of your life. And if you have a theme of chaos or of distraction, especially those two, I highly recommend that you take the time, do some space clearing. All right. So you have in mind whatever it is that you're calling into your life. And simultaneous to that, take a moment and just ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? Where do I need to make some room? What needs to shift for me to make room for this coming through? And if you can take the time to do this, I think you'll have some really clear action steps that you can lean into as part of this making space. So do whatever that is for you now or later, and hold yourself accountable. If this is once a weekend, if this is once a month, if this is once a quarter, if there's an organization that you need to reach out to get to literally physically get rid of stuff or donate stuff, there's the donate, the keep, and then the trash pile usually are the ways to divvy that up. And one of the recommendations from the Marie Kondo philosophy is to do one thing at a time. So it's like you're going through all your shirts or even all your clothes or all your makeup. So you can really get a full sense of, oh, wow, I have all these shirts. I only need this many shirts, or I only wear this style shirts now. And let yourself let go of some of those items. When you're letting go, and this is something I learned extensively about in the health coaching, it's adding in and crowding out. And so when you're adding things in, you're going to naturally be crowding things out. Or if you're crowding things out, then you have room for things to be added in. And so, like a simple example relationally, I love to know people's beds placements if they are looking to, not beds, bed placement, if they're looking to, say, call in a relationship. If you say have your bed catty corner to the wall and you're desiring to be in a relationship, that's going to be a tough way to make space for a partner. Even energetically, it's like signaling, hey, like I'm good on my own right now. And you are good on your own right now. But like I said, if you do want to make room for in your life for a relationship, get that bed centered. It's like literally there's room for that person to be in your life. And you can do this inventory with your commitments too. Are there certain relationships, commitments, things that you're involved with that you've outgrown, and energetically it feels filled with stagnation, and you need to make some adjustments? If that is the case, you may be able to do that over time. I think if you do this in one fall swoop, it can be a pretty overwhelming adjustment. But if that's a pull the band-aid off kind of person that you are, this is an invitation for that too. We've talked over time about even fitness, movement. Is there things that just feel stale, or are you craving some maybe uncertainty or novelty in your life that it's time to mix some things up? A big piece of this too with intuition, I would say, is listening to your heart's desires. If you have a natural curiosity, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, it keeps coming up. uh, can you get that on your calendar? And can you get that in your calendar, say in the next week? And if not in the next week, in the next month? And what I find is when you tap into whatever that is for you, it's like this portal opening. And that portal opening, you don't know what's yet on the other side. It can feel scary. But if this is coming through your intuition, this coming through your highest expression, it is certainly for you. So, pretty basic here. But just wanted to highlight the power in this. And like I said, you have an opportunity to really magnetize the efforts that you have, and calling in, aligning with what you want. Okay. So, again, making some space. This is that next step of even stepping into some visualization of what you are calling in. If you've done any work in the human design space and had your human design chart read, you may know if you are a specific or a non-specific manifester. If you don't know what human design is, that's completely 1,000,000% cool. But you can just listen to what I'm about to say and see what feels resonant. So a non-specific generator manifester, excuse me, will be someone that is very much based off of feeling. It's like it almost doesn't matter the details, but it has to feel a certain way. And that feeling is what's the attractor piece to whatever that is you're calling it. So let's say it's a job and you just know like flexibility and financial stability are really important to you. And what that feels like is confidence and stability. That's more important than the exact details. Now, a specific manifester, they may need to know, like, I want to have a water view, I want to work 8 to 4, I want to have a boss that's inspiring, like boom, 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 very specific to what you're calling in. So if you're making the space and then you have this clarity through some visioning practice around, again, what that is you're calling in. Now, there may be some things that it does not make sense for you to make space for yet. And so just stick with me on this. This is counter to everything I've already said. What does this even mean? An example of this would be if you know you're switching a job or you're making big changes in your business. This may be part of a well thought out transition plan versus I'm leaving today and making that space. This, I would say, lands on risk tolerance. I've been one to do the opposite, where I literally left and then I had all the space and then I was making the space from that. So you know what makes sense for you. If you are going to leave the job, I would recommend either way having some level of a transition plan so that you can make that transition with ease. The same thing, maybe you're in a partnership that you know is whether ending or you can sort of feel it ending. Well, what is that transition going to look like for you in a way that feels supportive and has some level of planning? I had an interesting call last week with a amazing, powerful woman. She's a coach. She has a practice digitally. It's I believe her empowerment, but she, talks about her abusive relationship that she was in and saving up $50,000, like basically over 4 years to have this exit strategy. And, you don't maybe need to have a 4-year exit strategy. Maybe there's so many variables with that topic too. But again, you may not be pulling off the Band-Aid tomorrow. You may need to have some planning. But I even think mentally making the space, and this is the most important piece that I would say, whether you're specific or non-specific manifester, as it relates to the visioning piece, is how will you feel? Who will you become as a result of this transition? And I've talked about this before, but getting that expansion subconsciously to allow in your mind to see what's possible, to start tapping into what that's going to look like and feel like, it starts to allow you to embody whatever those feelings are energetically, have that hope, have that momentum to carry you towards that. And then what happens? The aligned actions that you're taking day to day are going to help propel you into whatever that desired outcome is, and hand in hand with that space that you've created. So what I would love to know from you are some areas you may be making some space in your life. I did an episode, the last solo episode was all about money. This is a huge one. And so any of these avoidant tendencies that you may have that feel chaotic, that feel, chaotic is a great word. Tightening that up, cleaning that up, getting real with yourself, looking at it, this honesty piece. If you don't know what's a mess, and you're not facing the mess, how can you clean anything up? How can you create that space? So this is going to take some mirror moments on your part. And with that honesty and with that action, consider that your initiation into whatever is on the other side for you. So this space making, it could be a portal into your next level, your next project, experience, piece of your life, even chapter. And I feel so excited for you imagining what that is, and put some of these practices to work. I would love to hear what is feeling extra resonant to you, what's aligning. And that is what I have for you today. So take it, use it, and we'll see you next week on the Lila Life Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Lila Life Show. Be sure to share, like, and comment. Tune in next week. And if you're not already a member of the Lila Life Collective, you'll want to be. So take a look in the show notes and be sure you sign up today. Have a beautiful day.